we have some users earning around 40K, 30K, 50K every month. Okay, so imagine we changed their lives. I mean, Bitfunded changed their life.
Hey guys, this is Desmond here from Future Trends. Of course, I have Carlos here from Bitfunded. This guy is amazing. He's the product manager here at Bitfunded. And if you've been following Future Trends long enough, we have been a believer in prop trading because we know that the world is unfair, Carlos, right? Some people have a lot more money. Some others, their dad give them a lot of money. I don't have that kind of dad. But some people, they have to start from nothing or start from scratch, which is why I always believe prop trading to be leverage in trading. But Carlos, before we get started, can you briefly just explain what is Bitfunded? What do you guys do here?
Okay. Bitfunded is a prop trading firm. In a good way, Bitfunded is, if you don't have enough capital to trade cryptos, you can come to our platform and start trading with bigger capital. Okay. So you can start trading with funded accounts of up to 100,000 USDT, and well, start winning because you are trading with 100,000 USDTs. So your profits will be bigger, and that's it.
So for those of you who don't know how it works, essentially what they need to do is that they need to open an account in Bitfunded.
Correct.
And then they buy challenges. So you can buy different challenges. The more expensive one will allow you to have more capital. But I would recommend a lot of people maybe start out with a small one first. Test the whole thing to see how it works. And then once you feel a bit more familiar, then you go to the higher tier ones. Okay.
Yeah.
And then once you have passed those challenges, Bitfunded will actually allocate capital for you to trade, and then you do profit sharing directly with Bitfunded, which is why I feel like this is so important to the average Joes, people that are starting to trade but they don't have the big capital, or they're too scared to put in the big capital. Maybe, I'm sure you do a lot of stories, a lot of case studies here at Bitfunded.
Oh, I can tell my personal story. Okay, I have been in the crypto sector for around 80 years now. So I started around 2016, 17, something like that. Okay, and I used to live in Latin America. Okay, the main problem in Latin America is the lack of capital, of course, because I mean the economy is a mess, everything is a mess, and the lack of capital was a big issue. Okay, I just started in the crypto sector with the main goal of becoming a professional trading. Why? Because I always wished of being those of traders in the market exchange or something like that, in the stock market in US. That was always like my dream. Okay, so I get involved in the crypto sector because I think it's a amazing sector. And yeah, of course, my dream was to become a trader. Okay, what happens that I just have a account of 1,000 USDT during that moment. Okay, so I get involved in different academies. I study like everything, all the charts, all the patterns, everything. I mean, during a year. After a year, okay, I have my account of 1,000 USDT. And I managed to be profitable. Okay, I managed to have around 5% monthly return. Okay, with minimum trading, which I mean, a 5% monthly return is something good, as you may know.
Yeah.
But the problem was that with just an account of 1,000 USDT, my monthly returns were around $50.
Yeah.
Okay, so I mean, I always ask myself, like, it's all worth it what I'm doing, because I mean, being a trader involves psychological thinking, chart patterns, strategies, risk management, everything. And during that time, my idea was, no, it's not worth everything that I'm doing for just winning $50, because I was actually winning because my account was too small.
You're spending a lot of time reading charts every day as well.
Exactly. I spend a lot of time, but my account was too small, so I don't have like the tools to have a bigger account or a bigger profit, because my personal account was too small, and also it was risking my own capital. Okay, so what I decided to do during that moment, just to give you an idea, it was really popular, those videos where the people use leverage up to 100x. Okay.
Yeah.
And they win like millions using leverage of 100x. So I just said, okay, if a YouTuber can actually do this, mean that I have been in the sector for over 1 year during that moment and have a little bit of experience in trading, okay, I'll do the same. And I started using leverage up to 100x. Of course, during one moment, my profits get a little bit bigger because obviously I was trading with leverage of 100x. But the issue comes with one single trade, that it don't go from my side, and what happens? I lose everything. I get liquidated, and I lose all my job, all my 1,000 account that I was have during that moment. And I mean, that's my story. So this shows like how so many people, okay, this is my personal story, but this shows how many people don't have the enough capital to start trading. I mean, they don't have they don't have $100,000 in their accounts to be a good trader.
So they cannot play conservative.
Trader.
They cannot go conservative because their account size is so small.
Exactly.
So they have no choice but to increase the leverage, right? And when you increase the leverage, obviously your liquidation chance and opportunity becomes a lot closer. Hence, a lot of people burn their account because of that. So the market is actually not fair to the people with small capital.
That's true.
Is that what you're saying? And more importantly, I felt like based on your story, right? I think this is a very relatable story to a lot of people. When people start to see like consistent results, they say, you know what, maybe this is going to keep going. So what happened is that they started adjusting the leverage much higher. And all they need is like one unexpected news. Israel-Iran war, right? It could be like some crazy news that some Donald Trump said something, you know, the whole market shifted and you hit your stop loss and you get liquidated right away. So because of that, traders cannot go with especially small account traders cannot go with a more conservative approach. They have to go with a more aggressive approach. Okay. But now after you started using prop trading, right? So I'm guessing you can go much more conservative now?
Yeah, 100%. That's why this is my story. That's why I also get so like involved with Bitfunded. I love the Bitfunded. Why? Because I mean, it's something really useful during for a new user, for a new trader, is something really useful, and I wish to have something like this when I start trading. Okay, that's why we also, what we mentioned, the 100x leverage. Okay, that's why at Bitfunded we just have a 5x leverage. Okay, because we want to control in a certain way the risk the trader can assume, because we also want to have like a sustainable traders. Okay, we don't want those traders that can make a 100x with just one trade. We just want sustainable traders that can win sustainably month by month. Okay.
So let's say the audience who's watching this right now, they sign up for a Bitfunded account, they buy their challenge. Obviously, you know, this is very different than a lot of what other gurus out there are teaching, because a lot of gurus out there, they like you to increase the leverage because they get a lot of commission from the exchange, right? So the way we work is a little bit different. We want you guys to sustain the market as long as possible and make that 5-10% every month. Now, to do that, what is your strategy like to maintain that 5%? Because right now we're talking about how to trade conservatively. What is the strategy to trade conservatively?
Funded accounts is all about risk management, okay, and psychology, of course, because we are trading with a bigger account, okay, but it's all about risk management. If you manage to control your risk and I don't know, about a 0.5% per trade, you'll be, if you're a good trader, you'll manage in a time.
So that's position sizing.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay, so position sizing of 0.5, because he's dropping some really golden gems. So I want you guys to watching this to write down, okay? Because this guy is doing 5% every month, right? So we need to get all the good stuff from him now. So 0.5% position sizing, that's the key. Okay, sorry, continue.
Actually today, it's also a true story. Actually today I surpassed one of our trading challenges, like my own trading challenge of 10,000. So I'm like really happy about this.
No wonder I see him smiling the whole day.
yeah. And how I do it, well, is with risk management and doing this strategy. I just risk 0.5% of my account during each trade, and that's it. If I risk management, I mean, if I use a correct risk reward ratio, okay, I will always be profitable if I manage to get the profits in the in the 30% of my trade.
What about the leverage? How high do you go maximum?
Well, I mean, the leverage is just a tool. Okay, you can use if you want to get involved in a trade with I don't know, $10,000, is the same if you use just 5,000 and you leverage using 2x, or if you just with using a 1x, you use the same $10,000. Okay. So I mean, in my opinion, the leverage is just a tool that if you are smart in a certain way, okay, you can just take advantage of it and be able to open more trades. Okay, but in my opinion, all of the trades need to be measured by your risk. I mean, with how much of your account are you risking? That's
Right.
why I always use 0.5% pure trade.
Okay.
So in my account, I just risk 0.5% per every trade. If I lost one trade, okay, it's perfect. I just lost 0.5%.
Okay.
If I won, well, I use a risk reward ratio of 3 to a 1. Okay, so if I won, I actually won the
3-to-1 risk reward ratio.
exactly,
Okay.
exactly. So I actually won the 1.5% of the account.
So what Carlos is saying is that every trade that you open, you have to really plan your trade.
Correct.
So you go on TradingView, basically use the forecasting tool, 3-to-1 risk reward ratio, which means you're playing very, very safe now. Because funded account is very different. You don't want to like go too aggressive.
Exactly.
And then another thing is 0.5% position sizing. That includes the leverage as well. That's what he's trying to say. Now, do you trade every day with a funded account?
Not necessarily, but well, I mean, I trade every time I saw a good entry point, every position. Yes, I trade it. Okay, I also use some exchanges. Okay, like normal for spot trading and those things because Bitfunded is full for future trading.
Yep.
Okay, so yes, I use exchanges for open other trades, but just in spot. And the most of the trades I just open in Bitfunded and in the exchange. Why? Because I feel comfortable with my strategy. And
do you trade on news day? Like, let's say government news day, like the Federal Reserve days?
Yeah, I mean, now we're preparing for the elections in the US, right? That will be next week, actually.
Yeah. So do you open trade during times like this? Because for me, let's say if I'm traveling or when there's like volatility in the market, I try to avoid that if I'm trying to play conservative. But what's your strategy?
No, in my strategy, I just open trades every time I see it. Okay, my strategy also, if there is a huge news around the market, okay, I can open a trader. I mean, if my strategy says go for it, I'll go for it.
Right.
That's it.
So like based on your experience with funded account, what is the best way to trade it? Like, because I'm sure every strategy works, right? But what works for you? Like, do you trade, let's say, the EMA? Are you into like things like smart money concepts? What do you look for?
No, my analysis is completely, well, I'll say statistic. Okay. Okay. I go for risk reward ratios. It's my main goal. Okay. Every time I saw like a good trigger point, I used to see, okay, if it could be go from this point to this point, okay, I'll hit it, and basically that's it. But if you ask me about my strategy, I just use a technical pattern.
Okay. So now about this, I obviously funded account is traded a little bit differently. Are you more like a day trader, a scalper? What kind of trader are you?
I'm a scalper.
So you like to scalp?
Yeah,
what kind of time frame do you usually trade?
5 minutes.
5 minutes. Wow, this guy.
Yeah, really.
Yeah. Scalping is something that I find is so difficult to do because you have to be eyeing the chart the whole time. So how do you practice to become a good scalper?
Well, backtesting, and also a good feature about Bitfunded is that you're just risking your entry fee.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, if you get a funded
challenge
account,
fee, you mean?
exactly, the entry fee, the challenge fee. If you are entry with a 5,000 account, your entry fee will just be $80. Okay, so I'm just risking this $80. So even for the ones that are starting in trading, Bitfunded is also a good tool to start learning about trading. Why? Because I'm just risking $80. Okay, and coming back to my story, I just risked $1,000 because of using 100x leverage.
Yeah.
So if I risk $80 with the opportunity to get and start trading with 5,000, for me it's perfect. Okay?
Right. So the challenge fee itself, I feel like it's like a second form of stop loss. I don't know if it makes sense to you, right? It's a bit like a stop loss for me.
Yeah.
Now, talking about it, I'm sure you're not the only one that actually enjoy the benefit of Bitfunded and prop trading, right? And you deal with some case studies in Bitfunded, people that are making like 5 figures, even more every single month.
Yeah.
Maybe you want to share some stories on how they do it. What's the stories like?
Well, I mean, it has been crazy because we have some users earning around 40K, 30K, 50K every month. Okay, so imagine we changed their lives. I mean, Bitfunded changed their life. Imagine winning just 40K in 1 month by trading. I mean, something amazing. Those traders are even normal people, okay, that have the opportunity to start trading. Maybe there are lucky traders, I don't know, but they just take advantage of the whole bull market that we are seeing during these days. And that's it. I mean, if you're a good trader and know how to manage your risk, you'll have these opportunities. Actually, obviously, these traders are trading with 100,000 account, okay, but they are earning around the 40% of their account.
Yeah,
in
which
a
is
month.
fantastic.
It's
And
fantastic.
it really changed their life because majority of these people, from what I understand, they would never have access to 100K
Exactly.
capital.
Mhm.
But because of like a tool like Bitfunded, they can use a tool like this and really change their wealth category, I would say.
Exactly.
Because some people are very good at making 5-6%. Like you said, you're fantastic at consistency.
Exactly.
And I think consistency is the most important thing, but it's very unfair to you because you weren't like given a lot of money at the start.
Mhm.
But I think Bitfunded, it has been such a good leverage to help the average Joe, the normal people down the street, to actually succeed in trading, right? So hopefully you guys watching this right now, get your Bitfunded account started. I think it's fantastic. Go experiment. Even I think the entry fee is extremely affordable, and I also think it's kind of like a practice thing. And if you can do it consistently, and that's when you know you become a good trader. That's when you can buy the bigger account as well. So Carlos, any last tips or strategy or last like tricks up your sleeves that you want to share with my audience?
In my opinion, just manage your risk, and as Desmond said, try the beginner trading challenges first, and when you feel prepared, go to the bigger ones, because in the starter ones, in the beginning one, you're gonna to learn how to do everything. You're gonna learn how to trade funded accounts, and with the bigger ones is the ones that you are gonna win and change your life trading.
Thank you so much, Carlos. That was a good tip.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.